What's up, guys? Swift here with a quick Bears update as Lions center Frank Ragnow unexpectedly retired today. What does this mean for the Chicago Bears? We also moved one step closer to finalizing stadium development in Arlington Heights. And people are again talking about moving Darnell Wright to left tackle. I'm going to break all of this down quickly. Let's go ahead and get right into it. First up, let's talk about the Lions, who just lost their starting center, Frank Ragnow, as he retired unexpectedly today. Does this suddenly open up a major hole in the Lions' offensive line? As they also lost Kevin Zeitler in free agency as well. To me, I do not think this is as big of a deal as most people are making it out to be. The Lions drafted one of my favorite offensive line prospects in this entire draft, Tate Ratledge. But can that one guy replace both Kevin Zeitler and Frank Ragnow, two Pro Bowl players on the interior of that O-line? Ratledge is a rookie who couldn't stay healthy all season in college last year, so expecting him to step in and replace a Pro Bowl caliber player from day one could prove to be difficult. But the Lions' offensive line is still really good. However, this is good news for the Chicago Bears, as they won't have to go against both Frank Ragnow and Tate Ratledge. But we do know that Dennis Allen is going to be relying heavily on pressure from the interior of the defensive line. They've stressed that throughout the entire offseason program. So Javon Dexter, Grady Jarrett, Shamar Stewart, and others are going to get after quarterbacks in waves. This definitely will help the Bears when we meet up against Detroit. Instead of going against two Pro Bowl calibers on the interior, the Bears could potentially expose a weakness on this Detroit offensive line, something we haven't been able to do in the last few years. That's something to monitor as well after they lost both coordinators. Moving on, though, when it comes to the Arlington Heights Stadium developments here, nothing major has happened yet. However, there was an Illinois General Assembly meeting, and Olivia Olander of the Chicago Tribune reported that a new legislator on property tax, the one that the Bears were waiting for, was super close to passing, but simply ran out of time. But while it didn't pass yet, there is another chance this fall, and if it passes, then all signs should be go on the Bears getting started on developing a new stadium in Arlington Heights and all of the bells and whistles that would come with it. Nothing will be official until we actually break ground and begin construction. And while the odds of that happening in 2025 decrease slightly, there's optimism that this will happen at the next vote. Stay tuned for more on the new stadium development. And then finally, I want to talk about the left tackle position. I've now seen multiple reports that people still believe Darnell Wright could play left tackle for the Bears as early as this season. And look, while I won't completely rule it out, I think moving the best player on your offensive line and potentially the only returning starter from last season would be silly, especially when he compares so favorably to Penei Sewell, who was the right tackle in Detroit. Right now, we have three guys who could potentially play left tackle. You have Braxton Jones, who's not going to give it up without a fight. He's been the starting left tackle the last 3 seasons. And then you also have Ozzie Trapillo, a second-round pick, and Karan Amagaji, a third-round pick with a ton of upside, all going to battle it out all summer long. Why would you move Darnell Wright out of position and create another weak spot on the offensive line and potentially even set Darnell Wright back? We'll see how it shakes out, but right now, if I had to guess, I'd be really tempted to go with Ozzie Trapillo winning the starting left tackle job. I think eventually he's going to win the spot. Whether it happens in camp or not is to be determined. But Braxton's experience and work ethic should not be counted out. If he's 100% and ready to go by training camp, he's probably the favorite to win the job. But so far, Braxton is missing all offseason activities while recovering from ankle surgery. That paired with his anchor troubles already, and suddenly you can see Ozzie as a guy who could beat out Braxton even if he's healthy with an awesome camp. That's something to keep an eye on, but also do not rule out Karan Amagaji either. I just expect Darnell Wright to stay on the right side. Maybe he gets some reps at left tackle at some point in camp. I think he should, just in case, But when that happens in practice, the media is most likely going to overreact and think he's moving to left tackle. But it's smart. Injuries happen in the NFL, and Karan and Ozzie should also get reps at right tackle. But as far as starting position, Darnell should stay on the right side. Versatility is big in the NFL, but I do not expect Darnell Wright to move anywhere. The Bears' mandatory camp kicks off tomorrow, so there will be some juicy news tidbits over the next 48 hours. Keep an eye out for that. The next 3 days are the first set of mandatory OTAs of the offseason. Let me know what you guys expect in the comments. If you want more information on the Ragnow retirement and what it means for the Lions, check out Swift Scouting Network on YouTube. Remember to hit that like button for me. Comment bear down below if you are hyped for this season. Stay tuned, and until next time, bear down.